What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour / breaking booms, news, whatever. We got news flying off the shelves here. A little late Friday news dump right on your desk. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Got your week winding down. Hopefully, you got your sights set on a cold one, cold brew, nice bourbon on the rocks, whatever. Let's get into it. So, breaking news just within the last couple hours. Bill O'Brien out. Was he ever in? It's a real question. Technically, he was on the job for 21 days, but I don't know. Anyways, Bill O'Brien out. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day's mentor, the chipper, the wood chipper is in at OC. So let's get into it. I got to see if we have anybody joining us yet. No, Jeff and Sean probably won't be joining us today. So hit me in the chat. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the Chip Kelly hire. Thumbs up, thumbs down, yes, no. Let me know what you think. Is this a good hire for the Buckeyes? Are you happy with it? So let me know what you're thinking. Get in the chat. Hit me with your questions. We're going to dig into some of Chipper's background here a little bit. Chip Kelly, he kind of under the cloak of darkness, or in LA, whatever you want to call it, resigned from UCLA. I think that happened today. It was very quiet. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. Probably setting up this hiring to the Buckeyes. So really, you're looking at the situation where not only is spring ball like less than a month away, but Ryan Day needs to hand off the play calling. We've established that multiple times. No surprises there. Now, Chip Kelly wants to call plays again. Like, he wants to focus on that, not all the other crap that a head coach in Power 5 wants to deal with. So like the NIL crap, the booster fundraising stuff. That's not Chip Kelly's style. He's not a glad hander, give me money kind of guy. So he just wants to call ball plays. And I get it. So Ryan Day needs to take a step back, become that CEO, so he can manage the game more thoroughly. Chip Kelly's 60 years old. He's leaving a head coaching job for a coordinator position by choice. You probably heard that he's interviewed for multiple NFL coordinator jobs recently. So we know Ryan Day and Chip Kelly go way back. Chip was the University of New Hampshire's offensive coordinator, while Ryan Day was the quarterback from 1998 to 2001. Then Day started his coaching career at UNH. The Wildcats, of course, they're the Wildcats, right? What team isn't? He was tight ends coach in 2002, and then Ryan Day was Chip's quarterbacks coach 2015 with the Eagles. Then Kelly brought Day with him to San Francisco when he got that job, and he coached QBs there. Then the following year is when Ryan Day joined the Ohio State staff. So now, fast forward the last 6 years, Chip Kelly finished with a 35-34 record as UCLA's head coach. That doesn't bother me. I really don't care. And obviously UCLA doesn't care about their football program either. Seems like they could not get money for their program. It was constantly an issue. And they're second fiddle in their own town, behind USC. And people barely care about them. So, but anyways, Chipper posted 8 wins or more in each of his last 3 years at UCLA. One thing I do want to point out before I get into some of these stats, that Chip's going to be joining the Buckeye staff that also includes his former offensive coordinator at UCLA in Justin Fry, and O-line coach. He was OC probably by title. I don't think he was calling plays from taking Chip's play sheet. But Justin Fry was on Chip's staff for 4 years at UCLA before he became the Buckeyes O-line coach in 2022. And then, so what's Chip bring to the fold? What's he bring to the Buckeyes? He brings a strong run game experience, a variety of looks and kind of stretch, but he also has that inside zone that he likes. So strong run game experience, tempo. Don't forget, he was one of the first ones to start that when he was with Oregon. And he taught Ryan Day those mesh passing concepts, so that he brutalized the Big Ten with for years. Ryan Day did. So Chip Kelly called plays for Oregon when they ranked in the top 5 in total offense and scoring in the country from 2010 to 2012. Last year, his offense at UCLA was top 15 in scoring, 4th in the country in total offense in 2022, and then 32nd in 2023. The thing that I really focused on was the last 2 years, his rushing yards, because I think he's going to bring a strong presence. Not that we're going to start running the ball 90% of the time or something, but the production they got at UCLA with, obviously he's not a great recruiter, so we'll see if that's an issue, going forward. Maybe not. Maybe he's not going to be required to be on the road, shaking hands. But so UCLA's rushing yards per attempt in 2022, first in the country, 6 yards a carry. That's per attempt. 2023, they were 44th with 4.5 yards. Rushing yards per game in 2022, they were 5th in the country, 240 yards. And in 2023, they were 30th in the country, 181 yards. Again, how are they running the ball? You cannot go get offensive linemen in California. They don't make them. I don't know where he's pulling his linemen from, but to lead the country in 2022 in yards per attempt and be 5th in the country in yards rushing per game, that's legit, man. A lot of that scheme, making chicken salad out of chicken poop. So we needed to hire somebody with experience calling plays in the NFL, and somebody that, this helps that Chip knows how Ryan Day operates. They've known each other for 30 years. So this is huge. And I think this is actually a better hire than Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien not having any experience with Chip Kelly. So, and Ryan Day said it this week in his press conference on Wednesday. He said, quote, "At Ohio State, we're chasing that 1 or 2%, those last couple of drives of a game. I felt like in that particular situation, for me to really be able to hand over a lot of the duties that I was doing, I was looking for somebody who had a great background in the NFL, the SEC, or the SEC. I don't know. He's a former head coach. He had been a coach in the league and had experience of developing quarterbacks there. The fit culturally was right." He was talking about Bill O'Brien about the SEC, but the point is, Ryan Day is talking about what he was looking for. And honestly, there were not a lot of guys with the NFL play calling experience, or even big college experience. I know we talked about Jason Candle from Toledo. I wonder why Eric Bieniemy does not get more interviews. He doesn't have a job right now. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, Jason Candle. They had that Brian Johnson from Philly, their OC. I don't know. Seems like most people are on the fence with him, and he's taking a job with the Washington "Don't Call Me Redskins." So there's been some other names thrown around, but we got our guy. Chipper's the man. And let's pop in the chat here and see what people are thinking. Oh, a little bit quiet for Friday. Please hit that like button. Look, you guys crushed the like button. See? That's why I like you guys. Billy, Bab, Hasim. What's up, Hasim? welcome to the show. Odysseus, thank you for hammering that like button. So Billy's first one in, he says, let's go Bucks. Badass Buckeye says, shocker, we got Kelly. Yeah. Bab says, thumbs up. Hashim says, I like it. They are familiar with each other's offensive styles. Exactly. I have to do an episode of the Daily Blitz here, either Saturday or Sunday. This feels like a Sunday to me for some reason. I just got back in town a few hours ago. So yeah, I'll do a show on Chip Kelly's offense. What he, more specifics, details, and stuff like that. And yeah, again, he's not coming to bring his offense. It's Ryan Day's Ohio State offense. Chip's just going to add his, maybe freshen it up a little bit, add his wrinkles to it. But this is not going to turn into like a 50% Ryan Day, 50% Chipper offense. This is Ryan Day's offense. Chip's just going to kind of enhance it, they like to say. So, yeah. Badass Buckeye says Day played under Kelly. Exactly. Billy says, pushing all my chips to the center. All right. I like it, Billy. What are you betting on? Betting on Buckeyes? Odysseus says, I suspect Day had this in the works a week ago. Yeah, they definitely have talked. I think they definitely have talked. Chip and Ryan Day. They definitely have met, chatted, texted, whatever. But yeah, I think Chip was Ryan Day's backup plan. And what about Hafley? Hafley started this whole domino effect. Maybe we should thank him. I know last week we were talking about Hafley screwing us over twice, at Ohio State. But maybe we owe Jeff Hafley a Christmas card this year, or maybe at least a handwritten thank you card. Nobody does that anymore. Anyways, I don't do that shit. My wife does. Odysseus says, I said, yeah, gotcha there. Billy says, Day said he'll make the hire for the last coach next week. Can't wait to see. Yeah. So since you brought it up there, Billy, it looks like I'm seeing rumors that Ryan Day is holding out for a defensive line coach that is in the Super Bowl. That's why he's waiting until next week to make that final call. Now, the one defensive line coach that's been rumored is Daryl Tapp. I kind of remember him when he played a while back. But he's I think he's co-defensive line coach for San Francisco. So understandable that he can't really just leave the team right now. And they can't announce anything. But yeah, Niners D-line coach. He would become the co-D-line coach that we talked about with Jason Taylor weeks ago. So apparently the Jason Taylor rumors fizzled, or the talks fizzled, whatever. But Daryl Tapp, he's from Virginia. He's 39 years old, played at Vatech, was a second-round pick in 2006, played 12 years in the NFL, 06 to 2017. His coaching experience. So Central Michigan, 2018, he was a quality control coach on the defensive side. At Vanderbilt in 2019, he was special teams quality control. 2020 at Vatech, he was co-defensive line coach. So quite a jump up there from 19 to 20, going back to his alma mater. Then he got the job 2021 to present assistant defensive line coach. So that's the guy that's rumored. Who knows? There could be other names out there, but it does, the timeline kind of falls in place, right? Why Ryan Day is waiting until next week to name, a co-D line coach. I think Laurinaitis is going to end up being a GA for one more year. I think next year Larry retires, Laurinaitis is promoted full-time coach. So that's what I see is going on. But back to the chat here. Odysseus says that experience advantage for us at OC over the cheaters. Oh yeah, excellent point. Yeah, ton of experience there. And Odysseus says Bieniemy didn't do well calling plays at Washington this year, and Reed called plays at KC. That's a good point. That's a good point. Then why have an OC if the guy's not calling plays in the NFL? I mean, I guess he could have been coaching running backs there too, but I don't know. Yeah, it is weird though why Bieniemy, who was part of the Chiefs' offense for so long and a successful offense, why he doesn't really seem to get a sniff. But I see what you're saying, and if yeah, Andy Reid probably did call the plays, so yeah. Jeremiah, what's up, Jeremiah? He says, "Hey there, Joe. I like the Bob hire. Now that he's not the OC, I do like the Chip Kelly hire. Now let's go win a conference, Big Ten, and national championships. I like that. All right, positivity." Narwhal says, "Yes, Tap is the 10th coach." You got sources on that, Narwhal? I haven't heard that for sure, but I'll take it. um, Odysseus says, "Hopefully not Colin." Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that Colin guy. You reminded us last week. Odysseus. Yeah. Odysseus says we don't need any Wendy's episodes in Columbus. No. Yeah. We don't have too many goofballs on the staff typically. Um, Outside of Schlegel. Anyways, Narwhal says, "So guys, just a thought. Belichick as senior defensive advisor. I'll take that." All right. I'm on board with you, Narwhal. Think he likes Columbus. So his daughter was the women's lacrosse coach, right? Was it lacrosse or field hockey? I'll have to look that up later. So yeah, maybe he wants to come and hang out, shoot the shit with his daughter, watch her field hockey games occasionally, lacrosse, whatever it was. But hey, I'm fine with it. Let's run with it, Narwhal. You start the rumors and we'll pass them along as gospel. Billy says that's a whale of a rumor, Narwhal. Good one, Billy. Billy's always quick with the jokes. So yeah, what else you guys have going on here? Just checking the Twitter machine, see what else is happening. Yeah, I got to dig into Chip Kelly's offense a little deeper, other than just the stats. Um, I really like what he was doing when he was at Oregon with LaMichael James and those guys. And that's what, see, what I don't understand is how he like just stopped recruiting all of a sudden, you know? Uh, their recruiting classes at UCLA are trash. I was just pulling up the team rankings here. Um, but when Chip was at Oregon, he used to recruit the shit out of like Southern California, get all these fast fuckers like LaMichael James and shit. I don't know what happened to him. UCLA. He just stopped caring about the recruiting. Jesus, UCLA. 87th in the country, only 10 commits, only 2 4-stars. Watch it, probably all from Los Angeles too. Chip just drove around town. Yeah. Chatsworth. Here's some Washington guys. There's a Texas guy. Yeah. Mission Viejo, California. Bellflower. Yeah. I don't know what happened to Chipper on the recruiting thing. He doesn't like to do it anymore. It's too bad. So let's see. What else? I had some more quotes from Ryan Day here. Ryan Day had other things to say this week um, about Bill O'Brien leaving, because it was kind of in the cards on Wednesday. He said, quote, I wasn't just going to make the decision and throw somebody into that role. It had to be the right person. After spending a bunch of time on it, I felt like Bill was the right guy. If something were to change, then we'd have to adjust from there. But that was something we spent a lot of time on to make sure it was right. But yeah, Ryan Day also said on his decision to hire a play caller, he said, quote, I know that this is an ideal situation moving forward. I know that it has to happen. There's so much that's going on with college football. Do I want to give it up? No, I don't. I love the football part of it. I love calling plays, but I'm getting pulled out of meetings. So, yeah. Check out the chat here. Narwhal says she's lacrosse. Okay, so Belichick's daughter is a lacrosse coach. So maybe that works, Narwhal. I'm with you. Um, yeah, Odysseus, UCLA is stingy with the funds. I don't get it. I mean, I don't understand. It's Los Angeles, man. Doesn't make any sense. Um, Odysseus says, let DC go to crosstown USC. Yeah. Billy says, I guess Bruins don't have alumni base kicking down dollars. No, doesn't seem to be that way. Yeah, Odysseus brings up a good point. They do it for basketball, but apparently not football. It is weird, but yeah. Stu Bedazzle. Leftist states stay losing. Okay. Well, I don't really agree with your bringing politics into it. I don't think that a state's political views have anything to do with it. But anyway, Billy says, I heard the basketball coach is crying about lack of funds. So it's probably across the board. Martin Jarmon is their athletic director. So I don't know. Sounds like he's not getting it done. I don't know how seems like you could just walk outside UCLA's campus and just start asking people for money, right? So I don't know. There's big companies, big businesses. I mean, Jesus, go to the fucking former players, basketball and football, hit them up for some money. All right, Stu, I'm not going to get into a political debate with you. That's a sports show. Um, so what else you guys want to talk about? Seems like we're kind of winding down with all the craziness. After next week, we'll have one more job filled on the coaching staff. Then we got less than a month till spring ball starts. So got our roster pretty much solidified until at least after spring. Probably have one or two guys pop in the portal after spring. All right, Stu. Have a nice day. So I think we'll probably pull somebody in out of the portal too. I think we definitely got to get a darn Stu. Don't go. We'll probably pull in a tackle. We got to go get one. I mean, we got Josh Simmons this time. Well, May of last year, so brought him in, and Justin Fry got him ready to start, and he actually had a decent year. He improved over the season. So I think we're going to have to end up doing the same thing, just for depth, if nothing else. I'm not saying we're going to be able to go in and pull out a starting right tackle or right guard right now, but we definitely got to look at Luke Montgomery at right tackle, in my opinion, and then slide Josh Fryer down into guard. So that solidifies the right side. I I'm not sure about Josh Simmons. We'll see how he does. Um, yeah, I'll try, Billy. Thanks. Um, where's my tissues? Um, well, those are the happy tissues. Um, so yeah, we got to go get some depth. Um, I don't know. We'll have to check the portal. It looks like we're probably not going to get that Trapillo guy from Boston College. He never entered the portal, and now Bill O'Brien's probably doing his best to keep him there. He's their best lineman, so probably going to miss out on him. But again, this opens another transfer portal window for the UCLA folks. Has anybody heard anything about the Michigan guys, Grant and Graham? I heard Texas was going pretty hard after flip a coin. Grant? I don't know. Grant or Graham, one of them. I heard Texas was really up in their game, and I'm sure they were dropping a bag. But we got to get O lineman, man. Again, looking at the depth chart here along the O line. Bamahi, I mean, he's never going to be a starter. I appreciate the fact that he's from Hawaii, made the trip all the way over to the Midwest, adjusted, but he's not going to be a starter. I didn't even like him as your swing man, your sixth man. He never showed up. So you got McLaughlin probably in at center. I think Hinsman's probably benched. I don't think he starts another game at Ohio State. Not just because of that whole disciplinary thing going on the podcast before the Cotton Bowl, but he doesn't have what it takes, man. And he got worse over the year, or at least I don't know. He did not do it for me. He was very concerning. He allowed way too much pressure up the gut. You got Donovan Jackson at left guard, solid there. We haven't seen anything from Zen Mahalski, really. Again, I think Luka Montgomery is the one guy from that 2023 class that could probably start this year. But because of his athleticism, he played a lot of basketball in high school, high-level basketball. And I think that's why you put him out at right tackle. And Josh Fryer, not great at right tackle. You slide him down into guard, so he's not so much of a liability. Let's go back and check the chat. Odysseus said they wouldn't let UCLA have access to training facility during COVID. I remember. Okay. Yeah, that's not convenient. That was difficult. Yeah, Billy. Yes, I got over it. Travis. What's up, Travis? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know who Stu was either. That was a goofball. Wanted to talk politics. I'm sure there's a YouTube channel for that. Odysseus, can Hinsman play guard? That's a good question. I would have to dig into his high school tape and see if he actually played it. I don't know. He's still undersized. He wasn't even, was he like 280 something last year? Let me check that. I remember at one point, maybe it was early on in the year, they were trying to get weight on him. Yeah, right here. He is 6'4", 300. Okay, so he did eventually get up to 300. But at the beginning of the season, I remember he was like around 280, 285 or something. Very concerning for a big time offensive lineman. But yeah, but playing him at guard is a good question. Yeah, his scouting report said when he was coming out of high school that he projects at guard or center. Let me read this. Has experience at every position on the line, but projects to guard or center in college. He was lean coming out of high school, has some room to put on weight, and when they need to do that in college, but in person evaluation showed him to be taller, longer than he appeared on film. Good athlete who also played basketball, will come into college, 4 years of varsity experience. Okay, so that's legit. Um, Plays hard into the whistle, nimble, gets to the second level with balance and fluidity. Needs more experience and reps against top level defensive linemen. That was the one knock on him coming out of high school is his level of competition. His high school. He was coming from St. Croix Central and Hammond, Wisconsin. And they finished here by saying he still had to add weight, get stronger, but he was technically sound, works and plays hard, position versatile, good agility, all the qualities. Um, so yeah, so he played all the positions, but at what level, you know? Yeah, and he when he came in, he was at 280. He's a true sophomore right now. So we'll have to see. Um, yeah, I got no problem with moving him to guard if you have to. Um, and where's Tegra gonna slot in? I think Tegra needs to really show up. I mean, him and Carson Hinsman and George Fitzpatrick all came in the 2022 class. So some of those guys have got to make headway here. Tegra was in the two deep last year. He tried battling in spring ball a year ago for that right tackle job. I don't think that's his natural position personally. I think he's a guard. I don't care which side, but that's why that 2022 class we need to get more out of them. Um, and Thinking forward, you got McLaughlin. He'll be gone after this year. I believe he's just a 1 year rental because he came in the 2020 class. So yeah, he'll be gone. And I don't think Padilla, Severeld, or Miles Walker are ready. And definitely not any of the true freshmen, the Armstrong twins, Ian Moore, Gabe Van Sickle. Those guys definitely aren't going to be ready. And they would have to like jump through some major hoops to crack the starting lineup, even the 2D, you know. So that's why I think we got to rely on these older guys, 2022 and older, plus Luke Montgomery. I think those are the only guys that are going to be ready, you know. Back to the chat. Odysseus says Tegra and Montgomery are promising. Hopefully, I agree with you. I think Luke Montgomery. I mean, he got a lot of time in that Bison package. I think he only had like 44 snaps on the year, but he played in just about every game, maybe except for one. So there was no plan to redshirt Luke Montgomery, which I like. Ken says it means absolutely nothing if I like this hire or not. What does matter is the incoming quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, offensive line. Do they like it? Okay. That's one way to look at it. I'll have to get a hold of those guys. I'll let you know. I'll take a straw poll. Travis says, I got faith in Montgomery and the kid from Bama fixing this line. I do too. I'm with you there, Travis. I think getting a real guy like Luke Montgomery in there is key. Billy says Ryan will be able to focus on QBs. Not. Is that a not joke? Billy, more not. Okay. Don't make me put a moratorium on not jokes. Borat. Odysseus says he was a redshirt freshman. He could get up to 315. You're talking about Hinsman? Yeah. I got him as a true sophomore. That's what I have him as. Let me double check that on the Ohio State site. Sophomore, yep. But either way, yes, I agree. He could probably put on 15 pounds. Sorry, we got to wake you up and make you eat peanut butter sandwiches, dude. But this is the path to playing time. Um, Travis says, I think Chip makes this O line better too. He's a running game guru. Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to do a daily blitz on the Chip Kelly hire and especially his running game. I really want to talk about what he brings in the running game because we went through his stats earlier, what he's done at UCLA, and especially the last 2 years with, dude, looking at his fucking recruiting, he has nothing to work with. I don't know how he can field a team with bringing in only 10 recruits this class. It's fucking insane, man. So he has no big bodies out there. You can't get big bodies in California, at O line. So he probably got a fast guy, from the Los Angeles area to play running back. But I can't believe that they were first in the country in yards per attempt in 2022. 6.0. If the Buckeyes get up to 6.0 someday, we are fucking killing people. Run the ball. Travis says Ryan focusing on the passing game and Chip fixing the running game. This offense should be elite. Yeah. Yeah. Trey and Quinshawn got to be loving it. They got to be licking their chops. Those guys are going to eat and eat well. But again, I don't want to go. I don't want to make it sound like we're going to turn into a power running team. We're not. We're still going to run the Ryan Day offense, which means run the ball consistently out of the spread and then take your shots, and your quarterback needs to be on point, accurate, deliver the ball on time, layering those throws over linebackers in front of the safeties, whatever it might be. So there's still a lot on the quarterback, and we're not going to turn into a 50-50 run pass team, but the fixing the running game, getting it more consistent is going to be very important. Man, I agree with you. Gotta take a drink. Oh, had a lot to drink this week. Basically took off Wednesday through Friday. The wife and I went down to Sarasota, Longboat Key, had a few days off. Her birthday was Wednesday, and then we're kind of wrapped in our anniversary, which is tomorrow. So got a little toasty. She likes to party her ass off. She never met a bottle of vodka she didn't like. She's not listening anyways. Back to the chat. Billy says, that's the hope, Travis. Hate me, my friend. How you doing? Says, I think Kelly is an upgrade, honestly, if only for the 1 year we'll have him. That's the thing is, since him and Ryan are boys and they've known each other a long time, maybe Ryan can get him to commit for 2 to 3 years, right? Because that's what we ran into before with like the defense, where Halfley comes in for 1 year and then bolts, and our defense is garbage the next year. We need like consistency. So we got to have consistency from the coaching staff. That really helps, build something there. But I will say, with these coordinators, it's a dicey situation. I hope we can get more than 3 years out of Jim Knowles. That would be really nice if we can re-sign him to another 3-year deal. And hey, I've actually seen him out on the recruiting trail, taking pictures and shit. So I think that's like proof. He wanted to prove to us, the fans, Buckeye Nation, that he actually is out there recruiting, not just in his dungeon. Back to the chat, though. Yeah, I agree with you. Hate me that it's definitely an upgrade. I'm not sure Bill O'Brien would have been as helpful in the run game concepts as Chip Kelly. I think that's safe to say. Jeremiah says, I think all around this Ohio State team on both sides of the ball is elite in 2024. That's right, with a red exclamation point. I agree, Jeremiah. Billy says, and Kelly will expand Hartline's knowledge of run calling. Well, yeah, that's a good point, Billy. It is a good person to learn under, you know, because Chip will have the time to kind of train up Brian Hartline. Like Ryan Day goes to Chipper and says, hey, got this guy. He's a hell of a recruiter. Never called a fucking play in his life. Never drew up a play in his life, though. I need you to school him, you know. Then Chip Kelly, we'll see, you know, if he can learn up Brian Hartline, get him to see how, you know, play calling is done. And if that's what Hartline even wants, though, you know, we don't even know. So, and oh, by the way, Hartline, you're going to have this co on the front of your title now. Hope you don't mind. No, it does not come with a raise. So yeah, Hartline will be the co-offensive coordinator like he would have been with Bill O'Brien there. Odysseus in the chat says, hopefully Jeremiah want the sting of the cheaters winning a natty to last as least time as possible. Yeah. 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 Their momentum lasted like 48 hours, maybe. I think we do need to thank Nick Saban for squashing that momentum that they had going. But Michigan's really good at killing momentum themselves. Billy says, happy birthday, Joe's wife. I will pass it along, Billy. Thank you. T-Dub, what's up, T-Dub? Will Howard be a sleeper in the draft next year? Ooh, interesting question. Well, he said just a couple weeks ago that the feedback he was getting was between third and sixth round. I'm leaning towards the latter, but closer to the sixth round. But again, you know, that's a very broad set of rounds, like third to sixth. Third means you're actually going to make the team probably. Sixth means you might make the fucking practice squad in the NFL, you know? So there's no guarantees. But he could, yeah, I think Will Howard could, he's definitely going to improve his draft stock, assuming all goes well. But this offense is going to make him look really fucking good. You know, this is quarterback friendly, receiver friendly. And again, when you tack on Chip Kelly, you know, maybe we'll see more of those mesh concepts. Those kind of went away. You notice that over the last year or two? Ryan Day, I don't know, he lost that page in his playbook. I don't know, somebody like spilled coffee on that part of his play sheet. But anyway, we hadn't seen a lot of those mesh concepts, the receivers running across the middle, you know, short right around linebacker depth, you know, but finding spaces, and then they one picks the linebacker or the safety, whoever's covering, the other guy makes the catch, continues on, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson style. But yeah, I'm with you, T-Dub. I think Howard is a sleeper, although when you play quarterback at Ohio State, it's hard to be a sleeper, you know. Travis says, what's the word on helmet comms? Is OSU implementing them this year? I think those have to come. Those have to be coming, right? I mean, I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but that's like a no-brainer, right? So yeah, I think that stuff's coming. It'll probably happen over the summer, you know. So they'll have to get adjusted to it, but they'll have an all of summer and fall camp probably, you know, that's 30 days plus to work on that. I mean, what do you really have to work on? You know, flip the switch, talk into this end, hear, listen, that's the play. Yeah. It's got to be easier than trying to remember all those goddamn signs. There's no way I could remember all those signs that dudes are flashing. Dudes flashing. Travis says, imagine how fast Chip could run up tempo with helmet. There you go. Yeah, helmet comms. Exactly. He would have been a witch back there at Oregon, man. If they had helmet comms, that would have been ugly. Odysseus says NCAA seems to be slow play implementing them like everything else. Yeah. Slow playing. Yeah. Oh, they're busy. They're busy doing nothing, investigating NIL crap when it's legal. But yeah, helmet cons are coming. They can't afford to go through another year without it. And it's so simple it's an easy solution, easy to implement. Cost is definitely not a freaking problem. Um, I say give the schools the option, or if they can't afford it, like say MAC schools, for example, which they still can, but I'm saying like maybe FCS schools, maybe lower levels of college football can't afford it. Give them the option. They don't have to do it. So yeah, um, it's coming. Yeah, it has to. We can't have another stallion situation out there. You know, who knows? There could have been another one going on this year somewhere else in the country. I would look towards the SEC because I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing it before stallions. But yeah, they're definitely going to have to. They can't afford to do this again. Oh, Ray, what's up, Ray? Ray is in the chat. He says, "Hey Joe, I just hope with Chip and his run first that our receivers still get theirs." Yep, I agree with you, Ray. We don't want these younger receivers unhappy with their involvement in the offense. Don't think this will happen. Yeah. I, I don't think so either. We're not going to turn into a 50-50 run pass team. I think we'll be fine. But I get your point. Um, yeah. But that could happen at any position too, right? The running backs could not be happy if we're throwing the ball all the time too. But I think it's going to be a nice balance, like it has been for the most part. And what I like is you got a guy in Chipper who's not afraid to push back against Ryan. If when it comes to scheme or play calling or whatever, those two we're probably going to see them butt heads on the sideline occasionally, or if Chip's up in the booth, probably. But you're probably gonna get a few good arguments mid game, and I'm sure that they go back and forth. I'm sure they did when Ryan was a player under Chip. So I think you get a healthy pushback that makes the team better. In the chat, Billy said, "Oh, Odysseus says Stallions will keep doing his cheating if comms aren't implemented." Exactly. Yeah, he'll still hire his band of goons to travel the countryside. Billy says helmet comms courtesy of Connor Stallions. That's what they should put on them, right? They should put those on the headphones. Ray says, "I don't think this happens, but we don't want JJ Smith or anything thinking about transferring." No, I agree. Ray. The CS says, "I doubt he ever stopped feeding info to their team even after the resignation." Yeah. Yeah, they could have had somebody up in the booth, because you remember he was just whispering in uh Sharon Moore's ear or Jesse Minner's ear with what was going to happen. So maybe he's just texting a guy up in the booth, "Hey, tell Sharon this," definitely. I don't trust those fuckers as far as I could throw them. Jeremiah says stallions can kick rocks. That's right. Jeremiah, you tell them. Lavelle Cannon, what's up, Lavelle? How's it going? Go Bucks. Are y'all going to a spring game this year? That's a good question. Who's headed to Columbus for the spring game? Hopefully it's a nice day. Should get a nice crowd if it's nice outside. Get a nice view of all the new guys. Probably get a nice thing is about the spring game is you can basically sit wherever you want. Even the expensive seats are like under $40, but you'll get to see probably all the freshmen, all the quarterbacks, the freshmen. You'll see everybody will at least get a series. I imagine Will Howard gets the least, but you're going to see Aaron Nolan play. You're going to see Julian Sayin play, and probably Devin and Lincoln too. So it'll be interesting to see how they divide up all those reps. That's probably one of Ryan Day's biggest issues right now is how to divide up these reps 5 ways, and who gets reps with the twos and threes, because you don't have 5 teams worth of guys to run at the same time, and you don't have 5 different levels of dudes. So you got to go, Will Howard gets 75% of the reps with the ones. Backup quarterback gets the other 25, sprinkle in the third stringer for a couple waste. But then you got to go second and third stringers get time with second and third string quarterback and the fourth and fifth string quarterback. So yeah, it's going to be weird for Ryan Day. I don't think he's ever had this problem before, but it's a good problem to have, right? I mean, loaded up with star power, man. Will Howard's the lowest ranked of the guys in the room, lowest ranked according to the recruiting rankings. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting spring game. Should be fun though. Hope it's a nice day. Fill the shoe up, get in there, you can see Judkins. He'll get a few reps. Be fun to see him out there. Like to see the freshman running backs, James Peoples, Sam Williams-Dixon for sure. You first get your first view of Jeremiah Smith. That'll be fun. Mylan Graham doesn't come in until summer. So Jeremiah is the only freshman receiver in there. And of course you got Tate, Ennis, those guys. Emeka will probably get the day off. Who else? You'll get to see freshman corners. That'll be fun. Aaron Scott, Bryce West. I like to see those guys out there. Who else? Oh, Caleb Downs, duh. Yeah, get to see Caleb Downs. So it's nice to be able to see those guys get out there running around. You can see how they move, the athleticism, stuff like that. But so, yeah, I think all in all, it sounds like a pretty positive hire by the Buckeyes. Kind of wish this would have been the hire from the beginning, so they would have had the extra 3 weeks to work with Chip and everything, but not the end of the world. Jeremiah says, interesting spring game, regular season. Now let's go get this Ohio State team a natty in 2024. That's right. Let's go do it. So. Hate Me, my friend, says, bold prediction, most watched spring game in history. Yeah. It's not very often you get a senior quarterback in for 1 year at Ohio State anyways. Kind of that bridge the gap 1 year guy. So, and you want to see him come out and look good, Lavelle says, I got a feeling the Buckeyes might score 40 on everyone. I don't see them losing a game, man. I am right there with you, Lavelle. Now, we do have to get this team together, especially on offense. We got a lot of guys coming back on defense, returning for 1 more year. But we got to get this team on offense to come together. You got some changes on the O-line to make. You lost Marv. That's a big time weapon. I know you got Emeka coming back, and you got Tate coming back, Ennis and those guys. And then Jeremiah Smith is going to mix in there, but you got new tight ends. You got the new tight end from Ohio. G. Scott needs to take his game up a couple levels, you know? So, yeah, you're going to see a lot. I don't see how we can't score 40. I mean, we were doing that with CJ and all the weapons we had then. So, but I think you're going to need to see some of these guys take their game up another level to get to that 40 mark on a consistent basis, but it's doable for sure. Billy says, funny thing is, Buckeyes might only need to score 10 to win games. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, Jelani, I hear you. Hate me. Yep. Jelani will get in there. He's probably going to need some more development as a blocker, though. But yes, I'm a huge Jelani fan. I love him. He's a weapon for sure. So, but again, we have some unproven talent in that tight end room. We just haven't seen much out of G. Scott. What do you have, like 8 catches or something last year? We know the dude from OU, Kazmarek, is a good tight end, but that's against the MAC. This is quite a level up in competition. But he is a good blocker. We'll make sure he can do that against this level of competition. But I do like him. And again, G, Kazmarek, Jelani, we haven't seen anything out of what's his name? Christian Bennett Christian, whatever. Sorry, no offense. And LeBlanc and Witten probably are going to need some time to develop and put on some weight. They're both, not super big for an inline tight end. So, yeah. All right, folks. I'm going to bounce. I got to go pour a drink, and I'll talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.